silos.
All right. Well, when you're ready, give Lorenzo here a call. Lorenzo, just be on standby for Mr. Smith here once we arrive at the 2 silos.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
I am at your beck and call, Mr. Smith.
I appreciate it, Lorenzo. Thank you.
I'll be waiting outside.
Excellent. So in that case, I guess Lorenzo and I will depart to the 2 silos.
I will
with Freddie.
Okay.
Yeah. So I will see
So
you later.
you told Lorenzo to stay and be available for Sam.
I told him after the 2 silos.
To be available. To come back.
Yes.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yes.
He again opens the door for you, and off the road he sends. Sam, you do have a sort of apartment at Club Haven. There are a few rooms that she has prepared in there, and you would actually have, clothes and your personal effects, that kind of thing.
The entire basement is a set of private quarters. They're not specifically designated for anyone, but people can store things down there for now. It's not technically open just yet.
Right. So that's where all of Sam's stuff is right now, which includes a change of clothes. So he walks inside, checks everything, talks to the people. Is everything okay? Everything good? Guys need anything?
As well, the Haven Club is going pretty strong. They're about to wind down. It is getting late in the evening. The associated managers report into you quite rapidly, letting you know that it's been a good night. It's been profitable. There's nothing to report. There's been no incidences.
Oh, that's good. I need to go check on something, but we keep up the good work. I will let Virginia know when I talk to her that everything is going well and you guys are doing a fantastic job.
Great, thanks.
So I walk off towards the basement, go down to my apartment, change my clothes, put on a nice fresh black shirt, black dress pants. I gotta look good. And I have the Twitter pin on my shirt, of course. Can't go anywhere without it. And then I dial up Lorenzo, tell him to meet me outside, and I grab everything. Then includes the key card that you gave me 2 silos, and I head back outside to wait for Lorenzo to come pick me up.
Okay. Soraka, you and Zeke approach the property. Do you kind of hang back? Or are you just like balling in?
No, I'm hanging back, parking a ways back so we can kind of scale up the edge of the property and kind of catch them by surprise if there's anything that we need to be looking in on.
As you kind of creep up towards where you can see the parking area and where vehicles are, there is indeed a blacked out sedan there that's parked, and you see Michelle standing outside of the vehicle, just loosely conversing with Mr. Wilson.
Okay, I'm going to use my rifle and just use my scope to get a better look at them, kind of read body language, see what's happening.
Okay, so
I imagine we're not super close.
You also look around?
Yeah, taking in the surroundings.
Okay, give me another wits and awareness, please.
Oh, 6 successes. Okay. 2 crits.
So as you scan around with your rifle and just kind of looking through the scope, you do actually pinpoint out 3 individuals that are, for lack of a better term, skulking around different parts of the property, the garage, your RV, the Capital Coach. In fact, one of them actually came out of your personal RV, your Capital Coach, your tour bus, as it were. They look nondescript, very simple black suits. But but they're definitely keeping towards the shadows. They look like they're waiting.
Does Michelle seem to be on edge, nervous, apprehensive of anything?
She does not. She looks very at ease talking to Mr. Wilson.
So I'm going to tell Ezekiel, since I'm not sure if he can see any of this, what I've seen. The three gentlemen kind of lurking around in the shadows. I don't have a good feeling about that, but Michelle down there seems to be fine with Mr. Wilson. So I'm kind of getting mixed messages here.
I'll activate heightened senses in my eyes.
Okay.
To kind of scope it out a little better.
As Soraka points in the direction where she indicates the three individuals are, you can pick them out. I mean, you guys are a little ways away, so it's not like you can see the details of their faces, but you can definitely tell that there are three fairly large individuals that are at different places around the property, and they are definitely staying within the shadows. They look to be actively trying to hide.
How tall's the tallest one?
As far as you can tell, each of them are anywhere between 5'10" and 6'2". They're definitely big individuals. You can see one of them is keeping an eye on Michelle and Mr. Wilson. The other two seem to be looking at the two entryways into the property.
I'm going to pull out my phone and I'm going to call Mr. Wilson and just talk very quietly. Or are we far enough back that they won't be able to hear us?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Hey, boss. Are you back yet?
Hey, sorry about that. I ran into a little bit of difficulty here, just wrapping some things up, so I'll be a few minutes still. How's everything going? What's the status?
Your cousin is just wanting to meet up with you. She said it was really, really important that she talked to you. He seems very hesitant to talk. His words are chosen, and it's obvious. It's not the nice, flowing, friendly speech of Mr. Wilson. It's not his normal banter. It's not even his normal cadence. His speech pattern is off.
Mr. Wilson, it sounds like something's wrong, and it sounds like you're not at liberty to say so. Is that correct to assume?
So traffic's holding you up?
Yeah.
Okay. When can we expect you?
Oh, probably 20 minutes or so.
Great. I'm sure Michelle will be is excited to hear from you.
Oh, just tell her I'm happy to see her too. Is there anything I can bring? I know you're not able to say anything, but is there anything I can bring? Firepower? Do we need help getting her out? A simple yes, it's fine.
I think the beer is stocked. I'm not sure. I could go check.
Okay, do that and give me a call back if I need to bring any additional beer.
Sure, I'll do that. Sounds like a party.
Sounds good. Okay, bye.
Bye. And you can see in the distance through your scope and Zeke with your heightened senses that he does in fact say a couple of words to Michelle, and turns and heads towards the garage.
I'll give Soraka a glance like, all right, what's up?
I can't see anything wrong with Michelle, the way she appears down there. She seems fine, but she needs to talk to me urgently. I'm not sure what about. She doesn't just pop out of the blue like this, but I can only assume it must be important. So my only game plan is to eventually show up down there and see what's going on. And if you can hang back, kind of keep an eye on things, scout it out, and call in backup if need be. But I know that they called me specifically, and I'd prefer to keep everyone out of this if I can. But it'd be nice to know I had somebody looking over my shoulder, ready to call in the troops if need be.
But of course, But of course, did you want me high up or lower on the ground?
Somewhere with a good vantage point where you can keep an eye on those three stooges over there. I don't like the way they're keeping tabs on Michelle and Mr. Wilson. That just gives me the creeps.
All right, I'll go look for a nice vantage point then.
Okay, I'll make my way down there in a couple minutes. I'm going to wait and give Mr. Wilson a little bit of time to give me a call back.
Is there any sort of high rise or sort of?
Not really. Her new place is tucked a little bit into the woods, not that far off from one of the highways. But she definitely, she wanted a little bit of privacy for obvious reasons. It's basically a large cleared out section. It's attached to a motocross dirt track. Also could probably be used for quad runner races, that kind of thing. Something you'd expect her to have for training.
Okay. I'll attempt to scale a tree then.
All right. Dexterity and strength, or dexterity and athletics, please. It's not very hard to scale trees around here.
3 successes.
That's enough. Yeah. You find a suitable tree that you assume will hold your weight, and up you go.
I'll keep my vantage point between Mr. Wilson, or I'm sorry, Michelle and the Three Stooges.
Okay. Virginia, you are quickly ferried across the highway to the 2 silos. And actually, Lorenzo does drive you around back where he dropped off Victor and Tim.
Okay. I'm going to use my comms and say, hey, Tim, if you don't mind coming and giving me a hand with Freddy, I'm not sure if I can lift him by myself.
Yeah, I gotcha.
As you get out of the vehicle, a shadow passes by you, and all you hear is, "Have a good evening, Miss Stone."
Thank you. Nothing creepy about that at all.
Tim,
I'm gonna head out to scoop up Freddy.
Tim joins you out in the back parking lot. Obviously goes over to the vehicle. And are you helping Lorenzo with Freddy, or are you just hefting him out?
No, I'm just hefting him out.
Gotcha. So, yep. You take him. What do you do with him? You now have a limp body over your shoulder.
I'm going to... Sorry.
Lead to an empty room.
Okay.
Okay, Lorenzo, we are going to take Freddy in so he can sleep off his little headache. Yeah, just keep an ear out for Mr. Smith. And after that, kind of do whatever it is you need to do this evening. I'll call you if I need anything.
He sent me a message and said he was ready, so I'm going to head back over and pick him up and bring him over.
Perfect. As always, have a good evening.
Thank you, Miss Stone. And he quickly gets in the vehicle. Off he goes. Tim hefts the body over his shoulder and goes right back into the main building of the 2 silos and down the stairs.
Thank you, Tim. I didn't want to frighten Lorenzo by being able to heft a fully grown man on my shoulder this evening. I
Yeah,
only have one
fair.
frightened retainer.
Not too worse for the wear.
Nah, we'll get him all fixed up. Okay, so I'm going to walk in and follow Tim.
Tim, you find one of the open rooms downstairs below the 2 silos and plop him over on a bed.
Yep.
The last thing you
Sack of
remember is
potatoes.
that he was compelled to sleep.
I'm going to check
Sort
him
of.
for any of his weapons, anything on him.
Yeah, Freddy is strapped. He always is. He's your guy.
Okay, so I'm going to remove any weapons and anything from the room that could be used for harming himself.
I'm pretty sure that these rooms don't contain anything that would.
You never know,
clashes
and
that. I mean,
he's creative.
Other than like a lamp, the bedpost.
Well, I hope he's not that determined. So
Freddy was knocked out.
yeah, well, just in case he comes to, you never know. All right, I'm going
He
to.
does have a good goose egg right on his forehead.
Oh, good. Good stuff. Okay, so I will leave the room with Freddy.
Victor
on
is
the bed.
in the common area.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm heading back
I am
to
locking
Victor.
the door. I'm locking the door behind me. I don't want him wandering out and seeing things he doesn't supposed to.
Okay.
Not till I talk to him.
I'm going to check my phone for messages and whatnot.
Strangely, your phone's been quiet. Pretty much the people that you communicate with know that if you don't answer, to leave you the fuck alone. You've been pretty clear about that.
Okay. I'm going to ping Diego and Chompers and see where they're at.
Diego's and Chomper, or well, you get a text back from Diego saying that he and Chompers are at the Three Monkeys getting a couple of drinks.
Roger that. I'll ping you if I need you.
Roger, boss. Chompers doesn't say anything.
Chompers can't say anything.
He can. He can mumble.
Mm.
He can moistly gurgle.
That's gurgling and mumbling. Okay, so he can do two things. He's a two-trick pony.
Yeah, Victor, you see Tim comes back down, deposits Freddy in a room. Virginia follows him in, comes back out, locks the door behind him, and you got Tim messing around on his phone for a brief second, kind of shrugging and tucking it back into a pocket.
So Damien was here?
Oh, yeah.
Victor actually has a stake in his hand.
Does that look familiar?
He unstaked Fiona?
He sure did.
Sleeping now.
Should we rouse her?
Do we have any livestock available?
There is the cooler of blood that is in the bedroom with her.
Yeah, that's not going to cut it.
I agree.
Who's your least favorite employee?
It's a pretty new crew. Not sure if you'd have one just yet. I mean, you picked up a business that was already well-oiled machine.
Victor, you're a venture. Somebody's on your shit list. Make with a name. Come on.
To not draw suspicion, having someone from outside the area taken be more appropriate would draw less attention to this area as well.
Fair enough.
No investigation internally.
Interesting.
Questions when people start disappearing.
That's true. Speaking of disappeared people, you and I need to have a conversation later.
I do have a key for you. And Soraka as well.
Oh, sweet. Appreciate that.
And as a matter of fact, you can follow me. And I'll start leading him toward my office.
I'll follow him.
And I'll also feel in my pocket to see if I still have my key. Oh, I don't. Would you happen to have my key?
The key that he took was your black and red one to the estate and data center.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about.
Who took it?
You did.
Oh, I did? When did I take it?
That's how
Off
you
of
guys
his
got
limp.
out.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Duh.
Yeah, you pocketed it.
Yeah, here you go. Sorry about that.
Oh, it's no worries. I have one for here for you.
Oh, excellent.
And a completely different way to get in this office. It's biometric, eye scan, all that crazy everything. Just because paranoid.
Seems
Yeah.
Has
reasonable.
been true.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it also does the little burp thing when the door closes. Yeah. So
This
go in,
reminds you of the boardroom at the estate.
Mm-hmm.
and then I still have the 2 passes on the desk, the couch.
I'm going to grab one and toss it in my pocket. So, Walter, he's a guy that has a hot date with a Sunbeam, don't you think?
Virginia, you're following him to the office, right?
Oh, I thought we were already in the office.
Oh,
We're in the
I mean,
office.
I probably would have tried to follow, but unless a Victor would have stopped me,
Wouldn't have stopped you.
then I would have followed.
Okay.
Perfect. So, like I said, Walter, he's a guy that needs a hot date with a Sunbeam, isn't he?
Sam, you are eventually picked up by Lorenzo and quickly shuttled over to the 2 silos, brought around to the back entrance.
Renzo, I appreciate you dropping me off so promptly.
It's not a problem, Mr. Smith. I'll be out here if you need me.
I don't think I will need you after I get dropped off here.
Okay. Is that it for the night then? You want me to go back and help lock up and make sure everything's cool?
If you don't mind.
Not at all. Not at all. I'm only a phone call away if you or Virginia need me.
Well, I'm sure Virginia will appreciate having you on standby.
It's my pleasure. And with that, he gets back in the car and off he drives. Soraka, what are you doing?
I am waiting until I hear back from Mr. Wilson whether I need to bring more beer or not.
You see him sneak, or well, not sneak off, but you see him walk off towards the garage. He disappears inside. You can see the slight glow of his cell phone, kind of illuminated against his side, as he thumbs a text message to you. Something's not right. It's not cool. Get me out of here.
Okay. So am I still nearby Ezekiel? Is he near?
He's
like
up a
in
tree.
a tree?
Yeah, he's
I'm
up
up the
above
tree,
you.
but I still have my comm piece in, so I can hear you. It's turned
Okay.
on.
I'm gonna whisper that into the comm what I received from Mr. Wilson as a text, and ask if he has any ideas.
Would you like me to tweet like a bird for backup?
Yeah, so if somebody can come and arrange to sweep Mr. Wilson and Michelle out of here, I can go down and create a distraction, let's say.
He will literally tweet like a bird to see if anybody picks up on the comm system.
I totally expect to hear that on stream. Anybody on comms is picking that up.
There's something wrong with the comms.
Who the
Yeah.
fuck is whistling?
Whistling.
Why am I hearing a bird?
Interference? That's weird.
And I'm going to speak into the comms. That was Ezekiel. He is requesting backup. We have a situation, possibly. I'm going to create a distraction and buy time until someone else is able to get here. I need Mr. Wilson and Michelle out of here ASAP.
Well, okay. I'm going to text him.
Fuck.
I don't have the comm. I'm not speaking on the comms. I'm texting Lorenzo tell them to come back to Silos to come pick us up.
Hold the phone. Don't call Lorenzo yet. Let's figure out a plan. Let's not involve too many more retainers.
To be fair, I didn't send a message yet, so
I'm just letting you know. Hold up.
I haven't hit.
Let's come up with a plan first.
Zeke will finally talk after 5 or 6, moments of whistling and bird calls. 3, large, potentially armed.
Yeah, let's not involve Lorenzo just yet.
Yeah, good point. So I delete the message before I even hit send.
So it sounds like we're going in loaded and ready for war.
Could I get a better look at the guys to see if I notice any bulges of like firearms or
No way to
can't
tell.
tell this distance?
Not a chance in hell. Not even with heightened senses.
Okay.
Soraka, what are you doing?
I am going to start making my way down closer to them.
Okay. Where are you headed? Are you headed to like your capital coach? Are you headed to the garage? Are you headed to the back end of the track? Parking? Where are you headed?
I'm going to head in from the back end so I can come up and get into my house, hopefully before they see me, and hopefully Mr. Wilson's still inside. I'm going to text him while I'm headed down there.
So
while
he's
I'm
in
still
the
in
garage.
recover. Okay.
So is that where you're heading towards the back of the garage and going to come in the back way?
Yep, towards my shop.
Excellent.
I still have a vision of her going into the garage.
You can until she dips around behind the building.
Okay.
Soraka, you get around to the back of the building. The door's there. As far as you know, it's unlocked. You don't see anybody immediately around. You don't hear anything. You do see a light on in the garage. You do see Mr. Wilson kind of in the light. He looks like he's holding his cell phone, kind of looking around.
He's out in the garage?
He's in the garage, yes.
Okay. So I'm going to head into the house and motion like through the doorway towards the garage, motion towards him to come inside.
By garage, I mean like vehicle garage, where Mr. Wilson does all his work, not like a house garage. You actually have
mechanic's garage.
Garage.
My actual, like my dirt bike shop?
Right.
Okay. Shit.
Does that paint a better picture? Sorry.
Yes, that paints a shittier picture. Thank you very much. Oh, okay. Well,
yeah, this is Mr. Wilson's playground. This is his mechanic's garage that you had him set up, where he works on your vehicles, does his thing, keeps your race equipment going.
Okay.
He's standing next to one of the vehicle lifts and kind of leaning against it, looking at his phone.
Okay.
Every now and then he kind of looks around the garage, looks out the big open roll-up door.
And I'm at the back of my house? Like I'm at the actual house?
Garage.
The garage.
Right. It's its own building. It's a three-bay garage. It's got room for, 3 full-size vehicles in there, even though most of it's motorcycle work.
And all my bikes and my Silverado.
So if you're looking at the face of the building, not from the back, but the face, the far left roll-up door is open. So from the back, that's on your right. So you can see in the back door, you can see the big open roll-up door, and then to the left of that, the 2 other garage bays that are closed.
Is it well lit?
The one bay at the front is, because that's where he's at and where he's actually turned on lights.
Okay. I'm going to slip through the back door, make my way along the back in the shadows.
Okay. Do me a favor. Wits and awareness as you go through the door, please.
One success.
One success is not good.
I did not feel that it would be.
What you hear is a gruff, "Now!" There is a sudden electricity running through your body as you get hit from several darts at once. Several tasers hit you at one time from almost 7 different directions. You are literally electrified at this moment. And unfortunately, Zeke, you can neither hear nor see what is going on inside the garage.
Yeah.
Are we screaming? If I'm assuming it's rather painful.
It is very painful. It's not your normal taser. If this was a normal taser, you would kind of shrug it off, pull the darts out, and slap whoever fired it. But these are definitely not normal tasers. You feel your muscles tighten, clench, and become unmanageable as your body begins to convulse as you fall to the ground.
Okay.
Your beast begins screaming, "Fuck! Fuck! Get out of here! Run! Run! Now! Now! Now!"
I'm going to try to jump to my feet.
Your
And-
feet do not respond. Your legs do not respond. You are shaking as the electricity continues to flow through your undead corpse.
How close are the men to me?
It's very hard to tell, but they don't seem to be approaching. You are just constantly being juiced.
Am I in the dark where I have fallen?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to take out if I can, I'm going to take out my comm and I'm going to chuck it somewhere out of sight.
You can't, but you can hear it crackle in your ear as it seems to have shorted. The electricity flowing through you
Perfect.
has fried it.
Did we hear anything?
You all hear a brief crackle.
Yeah.
It's electrical feedback, and then it stops almost immediately.
My plan is to try to get it out of here so it can't be falling into the wrong hands, essentially. But if it's fried, then hey.
You are not in control of your body at this very moment. Your beast is screaming in your head. It knows that something's wrong. You know something's wrong.
Didn't a moment ago with that one awareness.
Out of the corner of your eye, the way you fell, you see Mr. Wilson be grabbed by 2 unseen individuals, dragged off rather rapidly, and stuffed into the back of that sedan that Michelle was standing next to. You can see her legs as she doesn't move. She seems to be standing there, calm as can be. Zeke.
Can I see the license plate from that position?
No, but you do see 2 individuals come out of the garage with another person who is rudely shuffled into the sedan where she pointed out her cousin was standing.
I'm going to give 2 tweets. Now.
Oh, fuck.
Well, shit.
They have a hostage.
Zeke, several things happen as you begin to speak.
Okay.
Soraka, you feel from behind you the inevitable poke of a wooden stake come through your back and into your chest as you become completely unresponsive. You can hear everything. You can smell. You can feel. But you can't respond. You know that you've been staked. Your beast is frantically screaming in your head, "No, no, no!" Your vision goes black as something is placed over your head. Zeke, you see the second door of the garage roll up. You see a blur of motion around it. You hear doors slamming, vehicle doors slamming. You see Michelle get into the sedan and begins to drive away off the back entrance of the property. An SUV pulls out of the second bay of the garage and drives away.
Do I have time to look at the license plates?
As far as you can tell, there aren't any.
Fuck. I will speak very softly and calmly. Mr. Toon,
Mm-hmm.
I am at this current address.
Yeah.
There is 2 SUVs.
And at this
leaving the-
moment, we're going to take our first break.
Oh.
We will be right back. And welcome back, everyone.
Zoom is muted.
Nobody should be muted now. So, Zeke, you were in the middle of reporting what you were seeing to our fine crew. Are we all back on audio? Are we
I
all
don't
back
hear
on
anybody.
audio? Okay, I hear
Oh,
everybody
okay.
coming through.
Wait, you're muted again.
Who?
Unmute your Zoom. The Zoom audio. That's what's muted.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try that again.
There we go.
So, welcome back, everyone. And of course, something decided to be funky.
Zoom took a shit.
Oh, please don't. Not in the middle of stream. Oh,
Not again.
Again.
Dun dun dun.
hopefully it'll unlock.
I'm glad we're frozen in such attractive positions too.
Oh, yes.
I'm like
Oh,
pondering my existence.
I have a smile, so that's
I'm not
nice.
sure how to get Zoom unfrozen.
New meeting.
And I'm caught
Like,
looking
no,
down
I'm
at
not.
my
Oh,
Ah,
movement.
It works.
Why am I still frozen?
Why is it just Virginia?
I'm also still frozen.
Because she's amazing.
I'm just not awesome.
Of course,
Yes,
you're
I'm
there,
broken.
and I'm freezing on the
Usually
birthday
I'm
girl.
frozen. Usually I'm frozen because I have shitty Canadian internet. So like,
But here's the thing, though. It's her
Blank
birthday.
Canada.
I'm frozen on the birthday girl. While the rest of us is frozen.
Okay, let me.
blame Canada
Let
for
it
sure.
go. Let it go.
It is the lands of always winter.
Okay, so Virginia unfroze when I
False.
did that, but nobody else is?
No.
I'm just going to enjoy my freedom of movement. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so I'm going to put us back. I'm not going to mute us, but I'm going to put us back on. We'll be right back, and I think we'll restart the Zoom real quick.
Okay.
All right.
But
Please.
nobody leave. Let me see if I can do it from my end. Let's see what happens.
Say
Hey, that
hi.
All right.
funny.
Hopefully we're not
Horrible as well.
locked
I
up
like
again.
my dead joke.
Yes, Mistress Sammy.
We are back live.
Oh God, that is disturbing and disgusting, and I am angry. There is
safe word
rage.
is- The safe word is banana. No.
Excellent.
Pan
Okay, so
banana.
Hey, Poopy.
we are back.
Poopy.
Better banana hammock.
Oh, dog, that's my laptop. Oh my God. Oh my God.
All right.
He's just going for it.
as we all do in theater.
Okay.
Ojo, we're live.
Back center.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, this is Doggo.
So before
Astral,
we
this
went
is
to
Doggo.
break,
Yes, we
Mr.
say some weird
Ezekiel
things.
was getting
in chat.
on the comms
We
with
need
the
that
rest
just
of the
join the
crew,
Discord when we do that.
reporting
That way we
in
can
what
talk
he
in
had
that and mute
found
it in Zoom.
or what he had
Hmm.
just witnessed. So
Ideas.
Zeke, if you will
Just gonna
please
sit here?
continue, sir.
Like, what do you want from me? And he's gone.
Zeke.
Yes, I always give my dog extra love and extra hugs. He is a good boy and he deserves it. He did poop on one of my shirts the other night, and that wasn't very cool. But it's a very rare occurrence.
Zeke, you're up, sir.
All right. So, as I was saying, there is 2 vehicles leaving the property. Unmarked SUVs. I do not hear Soraka. I assume that Pop was her. Nobody.
Does it smell like government?
Player ST. Do I still see those 3 goons hanging around?
No. They piled into the sedan with Michelle.
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
Dave, you're muted in Zoom again.
In Zoom.
God damn it. That would be why nobody was responding to me.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was.
Yes, it was. Okay.
No, you don't see the goons. Everybody piled into the 2 vehicles, the one
Okay.
sedan. The 3 goons got in the sedan with Michelle, and the other vehicle that pulled out of the garage was an SUV of some kind, probably like a Escalade or something. You're not sure. It was completely blacked out. The windows are blacked out. There was
Okay.
no discernible markings on the vehicle, no license plates, and no headlights. They are both leaving out the back end of the property, completely black.
I will reiterate that I saw a blackened SUV, no lights, and no plates. A sort of different make and model of a different vehicle. He's not really sure which.
Was there any comms equipment on top of this vehicle?
Good question. Did I see any sort of domed objects on any of the vehicles?
Do you have any technology?
No, but if Tim was to describe it to me, I could probably go by visual.
Give me wits and awareness.
Sure. Let me make sure it's enough dice. Oh. Oh my. Three.
As far as you can tell, there was nothing out of the ordinary other than like a simple satellite antenna, like most modern vehicles have.
Just a satellite antenna. If that means anything, Mr. Toon.
No, I was wondering if it was. I mean, it could be fellow kindred. It could be our friends in the SI that we ran into the other day. I was trying to discern who it might be that's after her.
These goons had black shoes, black slacks, vest coats, jackets, freaking hell, I saw even two of them that had freaking sunglasses on.
That doesn't really help. And we
No.
all heard that noise over the comms.
Our best bet is they've taken her alive.
Huh. So,
If they've even taken her. I don't have the wherewithal to check. I could, but I don't know who's still here. I could pretend to be a bird, or I could get back to the two silos. Either way, they're gone.
shit.
Unless you could be here in a millisecond.
I can't. None of us can. We're too far away. I guess there's not a lot of anything we can do at this point. So might as well head back this way.
I'll... Did you want me to snoop around, see if I could see any...
I mean, ideally, yeah, but if there's nothing there, then don't make yourself a target just to get a looky-loo.
Well, let me see here. I could maybe go unseen and take a quick look. But at the same time, I don't want to be another target.
Yeah.
Zeke, from your vantage point, you don't see any more movement.
Okay.
Not even a dog or a cat walking around. You don't hear anything. You don't
Absolutely
even hear
still.
Soraka. She's not talking. You don't see her moving around.
All right. I'll take this to a majority. Who would like me to stay and look around, and who wants me to come back?
If we're going to look around, we should do so with numbers. We don't know what we're going to find.
I'll take her.
It'll
I
be
agree.
scrubbed by tomorrow.
What was that, Victor?
It will be scrubbed by tomorrow, whoever did it.
Yes.
Choice is yours, Zeke.
I'll take a look around. I'll activate unseen passage after I get down from the tree.
Okay. Rouse check, please.
Yep. Success.
Okay, you don't gain hunger. You begin walking around, approaching the site, unseen. As you get closer and closer, you start to see evidence of things turned over. Where do you go first? Do you go to the garage? Do you go to the Capitol coach? Where do you go?
How many buildings are on the property?
4.
Which one's closest?
To you, the Capitol coach.
I'll start with the
tour
coach.
bus.
I'll start with the tour bus.
You definitely notice as you approach that the door is open.
Perfect.
As you go in, you notice the place has been turned upside down. It has been ransacked.
Does it look purposeful, or does it look just like it was?
It looks
just
like
happened?
It's been ransacked.
Okay.
Like every door is open, every cabinet door is open. The beds that are in there have been flipped up over. One of them's even been cut open. Cabinet doors, some of them are actually dehinged and hanging off. Drawers are open. There's papers scattered around. There's dishes have been broken and scattered about. It looks like it's been ransacked.
Any? Does it look like anything was taken at a glance? Maybe
You
some
wouldn't
missing.
know. You've
Okay.
never been in her tour bus, so there's no way of you knowing.
Okay. I'll kind of look to see if there's any extra items that might be there, things that don't look like they should be in a trailer or a tour bus.
It looks like, if you've never been on a tour bus, it looks exactly like what you might expect. It looks like it's been stocked with food, provisions, clothing. There's some couple of TVs that have been ripped off the walls. Other than that, it looks like a tour bus that's been ransacked.
All right, I'll move on from the tour bus.
All right, the other two buildings is a house that sits on the property as well. There's a shed behind it, and then there's the garage.
I'll head to the garage. As I'm heading to the garage, I'll describe over the comms the exact state of the tour bus, how it looked ransacked, how everything was thrown about. They're looking for something. To say aloud, they're looking for something.
As you enter the garage, you see under the fluorescent lights a Mr. Wilson laying on the concrete near one of the lifts. There's a needle sticking out of his neck. There's a syringe sticking out the side of his neck.
Is his chest moving?
Slightly, yes. He seems to be breathing.
Anyone here have a bit of medical knowledge?
Not me. I usually make medical problems. I don't fix them.
Let me
Ms.
just take a
Stone?
peek here. Let me just take a peek here. My thing is loading. I don't think I do, though.
Mr. Smith, any medical knowledge?
Nope.
None from me either. Sorry, Ezekiel. Wish I could help.
And your screen went blank again, David.
I'm sorry?
Your shared screen went blank again.
Yeah, it's still streaming
going
now.
on Twitch, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it
There you
back?
go. Yep.
Okay. Sorry.
Yes. Yep. None from Mr. Smith. Mr. Costa, are you there?
Yes.
Any medical knowledge?
No, just take him to a doctor.
Okay.
As you
I
continue
will-
looking around the garage, you notice there is no Soraka. There is, however, 7 cartridges that look like they could have been part of a taser. There are several lead wires coming off of the 7 cartridges, almost in a semicircle near the rear entrance of the garage.
I'm going to take good, long, sweeping looks. I'm looking for bodies. I'm listening for breathing, besides Mr. Wilson's.
Aside from the shallow breathing of Mr. Wilson, you hear the sounds of outside. You hear a little bit of wind every now and then, little rustle of leaves here and there.
I recommend if there's a problem with someone there that you get them to the doctor sooner rather than later.
Yes, yes.
I would agree.
Our only lead.
Yes. I'm going to forego going into the house.
Okay.
I will take a peek through there's a back entrance, to see if it also looked ransacked.
If you turn to walk towards the house, you'll see that the front door is also hanging wide open.
Okay, that'll be enough evidence on his knowledge of larceny to know that that place has been ransacked as well. He will grab up Mr. Wilson carefully, kind of like a bridal style.
Okay. There are cars around. It's not like you're going to jump on Soraka's bike and drive off carrying a limp body, but there are other vehicles here.
Is there any keys to the vehicles nearby?
Strangely, you get near the pickup that you've seen Mr. Wilson in delivering stuff before. You drop the visor down and a pair of keys falls out.
Perfect. I don't have to hotwire this. I'll get Mr. Wilson strapped into the passengers.
Okay.
I will call ahead to a hospital.
All right.
There's an emergency coming in.
Okay.
And start driving.
Okay.
If they ask for a name, he'll give the name Julius.
Okay, so you call ahead to the hospital and tell them what?
I found a man on a friend's property, unconscious, with a dart in his neck.
A dart?
Or something. A needle.
You have somebody with a needle sticking out of their neck?
Yes.
Okay, when will you be here, sir?
Several minutes.
Okay, what should we look for?
I'll describe the vehicle.
Okay. And do you tell them where you are, where you're coming from, any of that kind of information?
No.
Okay.
At that point, I'll just hang up and start driving.
It'll take you about 9 or 10 minutes, based on where she's at and the Prince William Hospital, to get there. You have to drive around the backside of the hospital where the emergency room entrance is. When we'll come back to you.
When I'm 2 minutes out, I'll activate Mask of 1,000 Faces.
Okay. You all hear him talk to the emergency room. Or at least you hear his side of it from his cell phone conversation. And you can hear him drive away as he hangs up the phone.
I'll mute mine for a moment.
I can barely hear you, Victor.
I will turn off mine for a moment.
Okay.
I'll do the same.
Me too.
Why would you call in advance? Just drop them off.
Yeah, I was wondering that.
Well,
They do what they do, man. What do you want from me?
So Sam, as you're hearing the conversation, you're making your way into the two silos. You were told that everybody had gone to Victor's office. So instead of going down, you might go up.
Yeah, so I go up to the office, to Victor's office, and I knock on the door. I don't know if it's locked.
Wonder who that could be. I'm going to go open the door.
I'll go open it.
And there stands Sam.
If you come in.
Victor. And I just walk in.
I close the door.
Okay, I heard everything on comms. What's our next plan?
I'm motioning for him to turn it off and like voicing it without saying anything.
Yeah, I had it off when I walked in. Like, since we're all here, I had it off.
I don't know. Perhaps Mr. White just needs a little refresher on things not to do. It's all good.
So we have a problem, guys, because I don't think any of our rivals in the domain are going to bother sticking needles into ghouls' necks.
No. Well, perhaps. But
Not really.
Zeke, you don't hear any of this because they've all turned their comms off.
Yeah, I'm just kind of watching Wilson as I'm driving carefully to.
I have a feeling it's our friends that Mr. White brought upon the chantry.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. That's my questions about the vehicle. So how is her cousin involved in all this?
That is a very good question. And the person who has the answer to that is currently not unconscious right now.
Perfect. Well, we're going to need to have a chat with him when he comes to. Should we tell Zeke to stay with him?
No. No.
Yeah, I don't think that's a particularly great idea either.
Literally drove up to the hospital and disappeared is what he should have did.
Should we tell Zeke to drop him off at a completely different hospital?
Well, he kind of did do that thing with the chantry, but, he is important to our goals, so.
Well,
perhaps we could.
It just
tell him to dump his phone as well.
Yeah.
Should we tell him comms too, or
I'm going to unmute my comms. Hey, Zeke, you need to destroy your phone once you drop him off at the hospital and then make your way back to us. And then I'm going to mute it again.
I won't respond, but you'll hear a squelch of the mic once, confirming, and he will literally, as he's driving, ditch the phone right in front of the tires.
Also, does anyone have any idea what the bird thing was about? And that's just new.
Malkavian.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we really ask questions like that at this point? I just assume it's going to be fucky at this point.
He tried. It counts.
Well, Victor, for everyone, you can ask him when he gets here. We can get an answer straight from him.
Okay, but seriously, what do we do about Soraka? What the hell? What do we do?
At this point, I don't think there's anything we can do.
Not right now. We need to find out more before we make it. Especially if it's the second decision.
Soraka, as you feel the motion of a vehicle, you notice that something's been placed over your ears, sounds become muffled. Not only have you had a bag put over your head, but something else has been put over your eyes as well, darkening anything you might have seen. The drive does not take long. You are not taken far from wherever they decided to take you. It is a very short drive. It is suspiciously short, although you are absolutely aware that there is a stake in your chest. You have been staked. You have been immobilized. You have been taken by unknown forces. The vehicle comes to an abrupt halt after descending down a ramp. By the motions of the vehicle, you can determine that it's probably some kind of underground parking garage. You descend probably 3 or 4 levels. You can tell just from the descents of the vehicle. It comes to a very abrupt halt. And within moments, you are shuffled out of a vehicle onto a metal table, strapped down, and wheeled into wherever it is that you are. Your beast, the entire time, is screaming, urging you to get free, get out, get away, kill everything.
Oh, I'd love to.
And back to our crew. Zeke,
Yes.
after a few minutes, you pull around the back of the Prince William Hospital.
Yep. I will.
There is already an ambulance there taking care of someone else. You know, things happen.
Yep.
Hospitals are generally busy on the weekends. But there are several police there as you pull up. There are 4 officers standing outside of the emergency room doors, just looking around. They seem to be waiting. There are 2 EMTs with a stretcher next to the 4 police officers.
Okay. I will bring the vehicle to a stop, slip out of the vehicle, open the passenger door, and slowly start the vehicle to get it moving toward the building. Kind of letting it coast itself toward the building.
So you get out of the vehicle,
I'm out of the vehicle,
open the passenger door.
open the passenger door so I can open it and get to him easily.
And then you get back in the vehicle and finish driving up to the hospital?
No.
Okay.
He's wedging the gas pedal slightly so it'll coast,
Okay.
and letting it roll toward the police officers.
And
As
what
he-
do you do?
Oh, he's getting away. He's
So-
unseen passenger getting away.
Okay.
It's a success on the roast check.
Excellent. So you put the vehicle in you leave it in drive. As it's an automatic, it will go. It doesn't need a lot of coaxing. As you roll it towards the emergency room, the vehicle doesn't stop. You see police officers are yelling. You can see their hands up. They're telling the driver to stop when they realize there is no driver, as the pickup truck slowly careens into the front of the ambulance that was already parked in front of the emergency room. There's a scramble of people. You see a lot of activity in a very short amount of time as they realize that there's a passenger door hanging out. There's a half a body kind of hanging out from the seatbelt. As they quickly, an officer jumps in the vehicle, slams it into park, turns it off. The 2 EMTs quickly unbuckle Mr. Wilson, getting him on a stretcher, the syringe still sticking out of his neck. And they quickly disappear into the hospital as the 4 officers then get on their radios and start calling in what's just occurred, and they start searching the area.
I'm long gone at that point.
Okay.
As soon as I see that they've got Mr. Wilson's, door ready, he's gone.
Okay.
He's walking back to the 2 silos.
Walking away. Aye.
Yep.
Back to the 2 silos in the office room of Mr. Victor Costa. Sam, Virginia, Tim, and Victor.
So are you suggesting we just wait and see if Soraka turns up?
No.
Well, then what do you recommend?
Well, do you know where she's at? Do you have a way to track her? Because I don't.
So I guess we just wait for Mr. Wilson to wake up, and then we sneak into the hospital.
He's going to be watched.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, can we get sneak into the window?
Needs to be someone not associated.
So there's only, it could be your driver, Victor, or we can get Lorenzo, or we can, not get Freddy. He's still out.
They're associated with us.
Sure.
From a distance for now.
Until we know more about what's going on, any action we take may cause more harm than good.
Good point.
If for now, it's probably best to just keep eyes on him occasionally and make sure he doesn't disappear.
Well, we need to keep eyes on that property to find when he shows up without people. When he's allowed home, as it were. But until then, it's going to be too dangerous to contact him.
Yes. I would
Tim, your phone buzzes.
I check it.
It's an unknown number sending a text message. It simply says, "We need to talk. Q."
I'm going to use this as a great opportunity to destroy this phone and go grab another burner.
You guys, you see Tim look at his phone, and a moment later begins breaking it in half. Extracting the battery, cracking the SIM card, and he rapidly exits the office.
Must have been a bad news.
Or it could be something else.
As soon as I grab one, I'm going to walk back in and start, unwrapping it, and that sort of thing.
It takes you a minute to get down to your room and, a minute back up.
So that was Mr. Quince trying to get a hold of me.
Oh, good.
So before all this drama started, I was trying to set up a date with a Sunbeam for that motherfucker. So, Victor, it has come to my attention that some of your friends might be missing a shipment.
Really?
Yeah. Would you like to know how I found out about that?
Sure.
I found out about that because I delivered the payment for Walter.
Wait, was that when he...
Remember when I had to run that errand for him with the briefcase? Yeah, that's what that was for. So, I have an idea. Remember those delightfully fresh-faced children that we scarred for life?
Yes.
So, I have a contact locally with someone in the Special Victims Unit. I feel like we might be able to leverage some of this information to cause Mr. Quince some problems. Do some fuckery of our own for once, maybe?
Sure. Why not go for it? But don't hint at anything you know.
Oh, I'm not going to talk to him.
I'm talking about the lead. Don't hint at anything you know.
The lead?
Supernatural.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Maybe he's just pulling a Jeffrey Epstein.
I don't know.
Perhaps they'll look into him.
Yeah. You never know.
It'll make things for him quite complicated, at least for the moment.
I would imagine so. So should we say, how can we implicate him without implicating ourselves?
Do you know what businesses he's involved with? Associates, perhaps.
Player to ST? What would I know about that?
You know the ones that you met in the warehouse. You know of them. The 4 others.
Oh, okay. So nobody useful for this purpose, I think.
No, I'm not mistaken. Human trafficking. They've been cracking down on that pretty hard recently. Perhaps a place
Virginia and Sam. After what occurred, well, Sam was not a part of the baptism of blood, but Virginia, after what occurred, you now hear the conversation between Tim and Victor as Victor begins to talk about human trafficking.
Actually, I'm talking about having the SVU look into him for potentially that.
You know, I could just mention that I overheard him mentioning that 20 children were delivered, and that's all I heard. Just something, report of a random citizen overheard in a bar.
Say he's the one that made that delivery. Yeah. Perhaps that's what we could do. And that would fall right in line with their investigation.
It would.
Sam, your phone rings.
I look at my phone.
It's the club.
I answer the phone. Hello?
Mr. Smith, it's Lorenzo.
Oh, Lorenzo, everything okay?
Sort of. We've closed up for the night. Everything's locked up. Everything's cool. Everybody's gone home. But towards the back of the parking lot, almost near the wood line, there's an SUV, and I think there's a couple people in it. And they've been there all night, according to the security cameras.
Lorenzo, hold on a sec. I put him on hold. There's an SUV with 2 people at the club, and they've been there all night, according to security cameras.
Do you think that's more of the same people that paid a visit to Soraka's haven?
Yeah. I'd take that bet. They're gonna. I have them on hold right now. So, what you want me to tell them?
Tell Lorenzo. Sorry.
Are they trying to get in, or are they just sitting there?
According to Lorenzo, they're just sitting there. They've been sitting there all night.
They're waiting.
Well, we won't know it's the same people until Ezekiel gets back and can take a look and see if it's the same vehicle or similar vehicle.
In the meantime, could you tell Lorenzo that maybe he should just hang around the club just to make sure everything's okay, and tell him that he's welcome to use one of the rooms in the private quarters for the evening.
All right, I take it off a hold, Lorenzo.
Yes, sir.
I talked to Virginia. She said just hang around the club, make sure everything is secure, and if you want, use one of the rooms. One of the rooms upstairs. If you want to take a
you don't
quick
want me
nap
to check
downstairs.
them out or call the cops and get them off the property?
No.
They friends of yours?
That remains to be seen at this moment, but yeah, it's best if you just hang around the club for a bit. Make sure everything's secure, and if you want to stay in one of the rooms upstairs.
Downstairs.
Roger that. You know what? I'll stay here and keep an eye on the security cameras and see if I see anything. I'll let you know if anything comes up.
Tell him immediately if anything happens.
If it happens, at least with the vehicle, call me or call Virginia immediately.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate it, Lorenzo. Thank you.
Absolutely. I'll let you know if I find out anything.
Thank you. And that's when I hang up.
Okay.
Maybe we should call the police, guys. What do good citizens do when a suspicious looking vehicle is parked outside?
You get
That's
a
a good
homeless
point.
person to go attack the vehicle.
Get a what?
Random homeless person to attack the vehicle. Act crazy.
Do we know any random homeless people?
Or you can find one.
Only if the Smiles was here, we could ask him if he knows anybody that could do something like that. But he's not here.
I certainly don't associate with such people.
True, neither do I, but they have their use at times.
And this is one of those times where they're going to be useful.
Absolutely. Nothing like a crackpot.
All right, so Lorenzo is going to stay on the security cameras and let us know immediately if something changes.
Good stuff.
Could Zeke find us a hobo on his way back? Might be worth asking. I gotta unmute my comms. Hey, Zeke,
Yo, what to do?
could you
Can hear sounds of cars
Fine.
whizzing by him every now and then.
you think you could bring a homeless person with you?
Somebody hungry?
No, not a snack. We need a distraction. Looks like there's an SUV parked out inside of the two silos, and it's been there all
Haven.
night.
Haven
Perhaps
Club.
a little
Haven
touch.
Club.
I don't think.
Oh, the Havens Club. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Where was it at?
At the Haven Club.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry. You misspoke, I believe.
Yes.
Do we want homeless crazy or homeless annoying?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. All of it.
I
I
mean,
know
subdue him, obviously, but we're going to need to spin him up and send him somewhere. You know?
I know a guy. My
Perfect.
therapist takes care of the homeless. She gave me some names if I ever needed a little friendship.
Excellent. Well, if you could make use of that, that would be great.
Absolutely.
How high would you like him?
Yes.
Higher than a space cadet.
Tim's the only one you hear.
Higher than eagle titties.
The good stuff. Do you mind if I have a snack before?
Help yourself.
I'm gonna
In
turn
which
on my
case-
comms and say, I think your best approach, Mr. White, would be to tell him, convince him that there are people in this parking lot who want to get him and get him very paranoid and scared and send him on his way. And then make him forget he ever saw you.
Oh. You would
Send a
like
crazy
him-
bomb.
Oh. You want the guy in the padded cell crazy.
Yes.
I will load him up on the good stuff. Tell him the authorities have been looking for him and that they wish to take him and his family alive.
And that he must defend them. He must
Yes.
defend himself and his family. Make sure he wants to get them and isn't scared of them.
Well,
A
my
big-
face is not my normal face.
Zeke, give me
So I
wits and
think that'll
awareness.
be what's awareness?
Wits awareness, please.
And that is how many? Oh. Frick. 4.
As you're walking along Route 28 towards back towards the two silos and the Haven Club, you go under the 234 bypass. And as you're talking about this, you notice a couple of homeless people hanging out under the overpass.
I'll approach them.
As you're still talking?
No, I'm gonna finish my conversation.
Okay.
How about 2?
The more the
Would that
merrier.
suffice? I think a little bit of our friend Benjamin could help. Do you agree?
Yeah. I mean,
Sure.
All right.
shit, Jackson too, if it helps.
He'll take 68. He'll take $80 out of his wallet.
Okay.
Click off his comms, or at least the portion that allows him to speak. Approach the
So you
the homeless
mute.
gentleman.
So you mute.
After,
Okay.
I'll mute myself. Hey guys, how's it tonight? A little cold, huh?
Yeah, it's man, it's getting a little chilly out here. It's it's November.
Yeah. You wouldn't happen to know where I could find some mushrooms, huh?
Mushrooms. No, man, do we look like fucking drug addicts? We're just fucking trying to stay out of the wind.
Well, I was wondering if I could hire you for a job.
They kind of look at each other with skeptical eyes like, who the hell is this guy? Hire us for what?
You see, there's some people that have been threatening me and my family. And I'd like to give them a little present.
Man, you need to go to the police. What the hell?
All right.
What are you talking about hiring a couple of people under an overpass because you failed? What is wrong with you? You okay, man?
I'm not okay, man.
Oh, look, man, pull up a seat. Have a drink.
I'll pull up a seat and fake having a drink with them.
They pass you a bottle of God only knows what hooch is in it. It's in a paper bag. It smells like turpentine. And
He'll swig at it.
they
Or at least
really
fake at
don't
it.
engage in any conversation. They just seem to be kind of just staying out of the wind. They're tucked up way up in the underpass. Look, man, you need to go see somebody or get some help or something.
Yeah, but it's those damn government pigs.
Yeah, well, man, you got some issues. Look, tomorrow, there's a shelter downtown. It's like near the Three Monkeys. You know where that's at?
Yes.
There's a shelter. They got some staff people there that like counselors and shit. You might want to talk to somebody.
It's not too far from here, is it?
No, it's it's a little bit of a walk. It's just downtown.
Maybe I should go.
Yeah, maybe you should. As they look at each other with this weird look on their faces, like, who the fuck is this guy? Yeah, man, take the bottle, man. We'll get another one.
No. He'll slip them a 10 each.
Hey, thanks, man.
I appreciate you support, man.
Yeah, no problem. Get some help.
He'll walk off at that point. Switch back on the comms. Well, that was a bust. Any ideas? I don't seem to have my silver tongue just yet.
You didn't think to, use your Jedi mind tricks?
Yeah.
That could have worked.
Well, they did direct me to a shelter that has a bunch of like-minded individuals.
We could lead the shelter on a raid.
ST
You
to
know,
Zeke.
Tim?
Zerg the van.
ST to Zeke.
Yes.
You have mesmerize.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't
Yeah.
do anything.
You have their full attention. It would be nothing for you to turn around and use it.
None of us
You know-
did anything, but we was
We're all sitting here thinking
I'm
it.
sitting there like,
Yeah, I was like, why is he screwing around with this?
yeah.
You know what? We're gonna actually turn into a 180.
Okay.
Hey,
Sorry.
guys,
Yeah, man. Yeah. You want that bottle?
mesmerize.
Okay. Rouse.
Come with me. We'll get more booze.
Rouse.
Rose?
Yes,
Success.
please. Yeah.
Mm.
Where are we going?
Liquor store. One down by the Three Monkeys.
Okay.
Yeah.
We kind of get up and begin to follow you.
I'll put an arm around each of them as I'm leaving my comms on so everybody can hear this.
Are you still walking towards the Haven and Two Silos?
No, we're heading to the van. We're heading to the Haven Club.
Okay. That's what I'm asking. Like, you told them that you're going to the liquor store down by the Three Monkeys, but you're still heading towards the Haven Club.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. You don't mind if we head to that new club there? They might have some good stuff outside.
Oh yeah. Totally, man. We raided their trash yesterday.
Ooh. They leaving any of those good sandwiches out there?
I don't know, but they had something on some kind of hors d'oeuvre. It was pretty good, and there was a lot of them.
Why don't we go see if we can get us a little grub and see if they threw out a couple bottles by accident?
Yeah, sounds good.
I'll
As
escort
they
them
just kind of
shoulder
start
with
following
shoulder.
you, or, yeah,
Yeah.
they
I'll
walk
buddy up
along
to
with
them
you.
shoulder to shoulder and escort them down to the vehicle.
You guys hear this interaction?
Excellent.
I'll cough one to acknowledge Tim. Oh, sorry, gentlemen. Bit
Oh,
cold.
yeah, it's getting cold, man. It's getting cold. Doesn't take you
Yeah.
long. Takes you a few minutes to get there. You arrive. You kind of march them over the parking lot. What do you do?
I'll mutter under my breath, low enough for them not to hear. How am I doing this?
Maybe suggest the van is the liquor store.
The liquor is in
And
the
there-
SUV.
There's free liquor, and they are trying to keep them from it.
That's
Yep.
right.
Zeke, roll your
Yes.
charisma and your subterfuge, please.
Yes. Charisma, that is. Okay. Seven. Two
Okay.
crits.
You are successfully quiet, even though they're standing right next to you, arm in arm. You do manage to whisper and kind of sub vocalize into the comms. See, he's talking to you guys now.
Yep.
Mhm.
All right.
And
So I'll hear them mention, hey, that van has a bunch of liquor.
Sam, your phone rings.
I answer my phone again. Go ahead, Lorenzo.
Mr. Smith. Hey, we got some trespassers. There's like what looks like three homeless people walking up on the property.
It's perfectly fine, Lorenzo. It's perfectly fine.
Uh,
Has the van done anything since you last called me?
Not a thing. It hasn't moved.
Well,
I'm
let
gonna
us
cover my earpiece.
know if the van moves or does anything.
Okay, what about the 3 homeless people? Not something we would usually let on our property.
I know, and it looks bad if we keep them there. Let them stay there for about like what 10, 15 minutes,
Okay, Mr. Smith.
and then just send them on their way. I guess.
Okay.
No, just tell them just don't worry about them. Just don't worry about them. Keep an eye on the SUV.
Miss
you-
Stone, can we get a remote session on your security camera here? Or
I'm pretty sure I have something like that set up.
Mhm.
Do I have something like that set up?
If you do, you have no clue how to use it.
That's just it. I mean, I'll pull out a phone and I'll say, I'm pretty sure there's an app on here somewhere for it, but
you have the cameras on your phone. You have an app that allows you to plug in.
I'm going to
pull 'em
give
up.
my phone to Tim because I don't know what the hell to do with it.
all right, I'm gonna try and cast the camera onto a TV in the office.
What you see are the external security cams around the property of the Haven Club.
Yeah, I want to view the one with the van and essentially cast that stream from the phone.
Got you. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, it's not hard to figure out.
Okay.
So yeah, there's.
Well, now we got front row seats.
You see the van off in the distance at the far end of the parking lot. It's not the greatest picture from this distance, but it's there. And you can also, at the very, very front of the picture, you can see the 3 individuals coming up on the property.
Okay, Renzo, don't worry about the homeless right now. Just focus on the van and let us know if anything changes with it, if it moves or people get out or whatever.
Yep. You're in charge, sir. Absolutely.
Alrighty, thanks, Renzo.
Yes,
let
sir.
us know immediately if anything happens.
Absolutely, sir.
And then I hang up. I look away from everybody and I try not to laugh.
Zeke,
Yes.
what are you and your 2 buddies doing?
Well, we just gonna start with the dumpster buffet. Get a little food in their bellies.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe have eaten a hot dog.
This place does not serve hot dogs.
Well,
No, we serve the fancy stuff.
Yeah, Vienna sausages. We serve Vienna sausages.
We got pickled eels and all that. Yeah.
I'll see if I can get them like a good chunk of boiled goose or something.
Chinky.
Edible.
Okay, so you walk them over to the backside of the Haven Club to
Yep.
the dumpsters.
Yeah, just kind of say, boys,
Lip
this
one
is
open.
on me. Go.
And they do their thing. They start rustling through, pulling bags out, ripping them open, looking for leftovers.
While they're distracted with their bags of leftovers, I'll look at the van to see if I notice any movement.
Not a thing.
Now that I'm closer.
Not a thing, but you notice that the windows are particularly dark.
Perhaps now
Recognizably dark.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
I will cough twice and audibly say, "Oh, I recognize that van. They gave me some booze last week."
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, nice black tinted van. I know that. I know that.
They both
There's
look
a-
over as they're munching whatever the hell they found.
I know that from anywhere. Maybe we start banging on the windows. They
Really?
That's gonna give us some good stuff. Yeah,
Really?
man. Have I led you boys wrong tonight? Free meal.
They kind of look at each other. No. No, you've been cool.
And you've been such a great help with getting me some help, boys. I need the help.
Yeah,
Lord knows.
Well, you know where to get it. So they're giving out liquor?
Boys, I got me a good bottle of Kraken from that van.
Oh yeah? And one
Yeah,
of them
good
one of them
stuff.
breaks away from the garbage bin and actually starts meandering towards the vehicle.
What's you and your boy's name there?
Oh, that's John and I'm Bob.
John and Bob. Bob.
Yeah.
What?
As he continues eating.
You sure your buddy's gonna be fine over there by himself?
Oh, he's fine.
Hey, I'm gonna go check the cans on the south side. You know, the good cans. See if I can find a good maybe a bottle of champagne or something.
Okay. Knock
Don't
yourself
worry.
out, Chief.
I will then go around the corner,
Okay.
unseen passage. Actually, no, cloak.
So that
And
assumes
before
that
I
you
cloak-
stop moving.
Wait, no, unseen passage.
All right. Rouse.
Success.
Okay. You see Zeke on the camera breaks away from Bob, and he heads around the corner of the building. On another camera, you see he disappears. Bob continues to enjoy his feast as John rambles over to the van.
You'll hear kind of whispered over the microphone for the comms. It's done.
Well, Mr. White, he hardly looks like a crazy homeless person, but I'll give you half points for effort.
I mean, it should be fun to watch regardless.
Yes.
Let's just see what happens.
So John does get to the vehicle. He starts tapping on the window. Hey! You see the window comes down about 1.5 inches. You don't hear what transpires between John and whoever's in the vehicle, but you see John go over to the other side of the vehicle. There's no sound. It's too far for the cameras to pick that up. But you see a flash.
Now it's
We
time.
gave
The
Police.
window closes.
Now it's
The
time
driver
for the-
window closes.
Now it's time to call the police.
with that. I will look around for a payphone.
There's no payphones at the Haven Club. 0. You have a phone. Oh, no, you don't.
I don't have a phone.
I can pull out one of my burners.
He'll cough twice quietly. No audible more than a whisper. My job's done. It's your turn.
Yeah,
I'm
Miss Stone, actually, this would make sense if you were the one to call. Just say, oh, my head of security notified me of X, Y, and Z.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
It's not flash on camera.
Well, I'm just going to say there's a disturbance in my parking lot with homeless men and a mysterious SUV.
Mhm.
That works.
Okay. I'm going to pick up one of my burner phones, preferably. Not
Okay.
the one that I gave Tim. And I'm going to make a call to the police.
Are you calling 911 or non-emergency or what?
I'm going to call the non-emergency line.
Okay. Prince William Police Department, how can we help you?
Good evening. I am Miss Stone, the owner of the Haven, well, I guess operator of the Haven nightclub. I would like to place a call to have someone come out and take a look at my property.
Is Miss Stone, is there something wrong?
Well, yes. I am reviewing my security feed because one of my employees alerted me that there was an issue on the property. There seems to be a black SUV and a number of homeless people causing some sort of ruckus in my parking lot. And, I just think it's rather unseemly in this particular neighborhood for such an event to transpire.
Yeah, it's your property's kind of set off from everything. You want me to send a squad car around to have a look?
Yes, that would be delightful.
We can do that. Do you need to stay on the line or?
No, I can review it from my footage. I've got a live feed here. If you just give me a call if it's.
Is there someone there on the premises that can talk with the
Tell him
officer
you can
when he
talk to your
arrives?
head of security.
Yes, you could talk to my head of security, Lorenzo.
Excellent. I will get a car dispatched out there as soon as possible.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're absolutely welcome, Miss Stone. Thank you for calling. And they hang up.
Okay, so I call Lorenzo and I let him know that there is a squad car on the way there, and they will ask you a couple questions. Nothing bad, nothing serious. A couple questions about what you saw tonight, and that'll be it.
Okay. Well, I was getting ready to call you anyway. We saw one of the homeless guys went over to that van, and he went around to the other side. There was a flash, and I haven't seen anything else.
There was a flash.
Yes.
Make sure to tell him that he tells the police that he saw that and reported it to the boss.
Yes.
Let the police know that you saw the flash and you reported it to us.
All right.
Me and Miss Stone.
We'll do that. Are either of you coming?
Not at this time right now, but we probably will be by sometime before the night's over, if not tomorrow night, to see if you're okay, if nothing was taken or whatever.
Okay. So you guys called the police then?
Yes, we did.
All right. I guess I'll meet them out front.
Sounds good.
All right, Mr. Smith. I'll let you know what happens.
Wait, Sam.
I don't know.
Maybe tell him to wait until the police are present.
Wait until the police show up first before you go anywhere.
Sure.
But that will be all, Lorenzo. Just let us know what happens after the police leave.
I'll let you know, sir.
All right, appreciate it, Lorenzo. Thank you.
Absolutely.
And I hang up again.
Okay. Victor, Sam, Tim, Virginia. Are you all having any other conversation while all this is going on?
I'm just kicking back and watching the feed.
Yep.
That's all
Waiting
we're
for
doing
the
right
show
now.
to start.
Yep.
Yep. And no popcorn.
Okay, so
Yep.
Tim,
Sorry.
as you have the cell phone, it's a couple 2-3 minutes goes by, and sure enough, one of the Prince William County police officers shows up to the front of the building. You can see on the front side camera that Lorenzo literally was waiting at the door, popped out as soon as the officer pulled up. You can see him get out. He has a quick conversation with the police officer, kind of points towards the back of the building where the parking structure is and the regular parking lot. You can see the officer, a couple of hand gestures and kind of pushes him or motions for him to go back in the building, which he does. The officer gets back in his car and drives around the back. As he does, you see Bob at the bin quickly disappears. He runs. He doesn't even think twice. He drops whatever's in his hands and he hauls boogie. He is not sticking around for cops. You see the cop puts his spotlight on.
Bob's got a healthy sense of self-preservation.
You see the cop puts the spotlight on and he runs it around the back parking lot, and you see it stop on the black vehicle. When he does, the vehicle starts and drives at a rapid pace away from the parking lot, out of the parking lot, towards the police officer. You see him turn on his red and blue flashlights, or his red and blue flashers. The SUV, of course, ignores this, drives past him at a rapid rate. But what is behind on the ground is a body. Where they were parked is a body. The cop's light clearly is illuminating the body. You see the cop gets out. He's got his radio. You can see him talking into it. He looks in the direction of the van. You can only assume what his conversation is. He gets back into his vehicle, quickly drives over to where the van was parked, gets out, leans over the body. You can see him place a hand on the neck, where he then stands back up, draws his weapon, and looks around very rapidly. Gets on his radio again. This is what you guys see. And with that, we're going to take a brief break because my bladder is screaming. The beast that is my bladder is screaming at me to run.
Run and pee.
2020 Hub Olympics.
Please do not turn your cameras off.
Yeah.
Come on.
We'll avoid that this time.
I will mute the guest stream and put us on. We'll be right back.
You said that Zeke's picture was up on my screen.
Welcome back,
So
everyone.
I was like,
Welcome back.
greetings.
Welcome back.
Hello, everybody.
Okay,
Is Melissa back?
so Victor, on your wonderful monitors,
Mm-hmm.
you can see blue strobes. Each of you can begin to hear sirens as the two silos and the Haven Club are not that far apart. They're literally across the highway from each other. There's a slew of emergency vehicles that enter the scene. Zeke, you can hear the sirens coming quick as can be.
Can I see the body from my position?
The cop's car is kind of blocking it at this point.
I'm gonna move to get a look at the body.
Okay.
Not near, of course, the vehicle, just kind of maybe up the street a little bit.
Well, you could circle around the parking lot.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna circle around.
And kind of hug the tree line at the back end of the parking lot and
I'm still
see
invisible.
everything.
But yeah, I'll hug. I'll hug the tree line.
So yeah, it's definitely John. You can tell by his clothes. There's a shiny pool of liquid near him.
Is it red or clear?
Kind of hard to tell in the night light with the cop's spotlight. But it's definitely a shiny liquid under him. He is not moving at all. It is not hard to surmise that he got shot.
I will walk kind of down the street a little bit and whisper into the microphone. Well, who wants to pour one out for one of my friends?
Zeke,
Yes.
that nagging memory of the baptism of blood comes forefront in your mind. You just sent an innocent man to his death. Your humanity is stained.
Resolve that later.
You
By the end of the
literally
session.
convinced this poor homeless guy to go to his death. And your beast is snickering.
Shut up.
It's just another one on the tally board. Your score's getting pretty high. You're good at this.
As much as you want me to. As much as you need me
As
to.
much as you want to. Get real.
Yes,
It's
the
all
comms
you.
will
I'm not
stop.
doing this. You're just really good at it. And I think it's wonderful.
But aren't you me?
Oh no, you're you. Isn't that how it works? I'm me, you're you, or at least you hope so. And the voice goes quiet.
We will talk about this later.
Zeke, you see a fire engine shows up, an ambulance shows up, several other cop cars show up. It's a light show in the parking lot of the Haven Club. Sam, your phone rings.
Yeah, I know exactly who it is, too. So I answer my phone. Yes, Lorenzo?
Do you see what's going on?
Yeah. Me and Miss Stone both see what's
She's
going
with
on
you.
right now.
Because
Yeah.
they're going to want to talk to somebody. They're going to want footage. Hey, I gotta go. One of the cops is coming up. I gotta go.
Okay.
And he hangs up.
Miss Stone,
Yeah.
now would seem like a prudent time for you to get one of your lackeys to prepare a recordable media device with the footage necessary to help our friends in blue.
Absolutely.
I think so.
I second that option.
I'm going to take my cell phone cell from Tim, and I'm going to call Lorenzo.
Okay. He answers right away.
Lorenzo, could you do me a wonderful favor and get a USB drive from one of the drawers in the security office?
Hold on, Miss Stone. You can hear an officer talking to him. You can hear someone identifying themselves as a detective and asking to be shown to where their cameras are. You can hear the interaction, and Lorenzo's being very accommodating. Absolutely, right away, detective. And he walks him back through the offices. You can hear him walking through the Haven Club and into the security room. And you hear Lorenzo, "I've got my boss on the phone. She's right here. Hold on one second." And he hands the phone over. "Yeah, this is Detective Smith. Is this Miss Virginia Stone?"
Yes, speaking.
I'm sure you're aware of what's gone on in your parking lot. There's been a murder.
From what I see on my cameras here, yes, it appears so.
Yeah, I was told by your security gentleman, Mr. Lorenzo, that 3 homeless persons came up onto your property and started rooting through your trash, and one of them approached an unknown vehicle in the back of your parking lot where Mr. Lorenzo reported seeing a flash, at which time he, or I believe we received a call from you about the incident, and the officer on site arrived. The vehicle in question left the scene, and there's a body.
Oh, wow.
And as far as we can determine, they're dead. We're going to need to take your security recordings from this evening.
Absolutely. My man Lorenzo there, he knows that there are some USB drives in the drawer of the desk with the security consoles, and he can easily move files over onto that for you all.
We'll get one of our technical staff down here to take care of this. We would rather that your security guy didn't mess with anything with the chance of, tampering with the evidence.
Absolutely, fair enough.
They'll probably be here within the next 10 to 15 minutes. I'm sorry we're inconveniencing you. We'll make this as quick as we can. I hate to say, but we're probably going to be on your property for quite some time this evening, Miss Stone.
Do you think I know it sounds rather, I guess, harsh, but do you think it'll be okay if we proceed with my the normal business hours the next evening, or will you be needing my property for a little while longer?
I'm sure we'll be done before that. But the section behind at the back end of your parking lot is definitely going to be closed.
Okay, I'm just wondering how to alert
out here and do our jobs.
Okay, I will make sure my staff knows to stay away from the area. Do you require me to come to the property for any reason? Anything at all I can do to help you in your investigation?
We will let you know. I'm sure that Mr. Lorenzo will provide us with the necessary contact details that we're going to need.
Okay.
We may need to get a statement from you, as you were the one that reported this and initially saw it. I assume on your security camera system. We will certainly be in touch. Please be available when our detectives do call.
Of course.
And
Lorenzo will have my available hours.
We'll let you know what we find out, Miss Stone. We'll keep you informed as best we can.
Thank you so much. And it is very nice to see that the officers in Prince William County take public safety so seriously to be as prompt as you were. Thank you.
You're welcome, Miss Stone. Thank you very much. And he hands the phone back to Lorenzo. Miss Stone, so I'll take care of things here, and I'll let you know. I'll let you know when they're done.
Of course. Anything they need. The rooms. If any footage they need, make sure they have access to.
Absolutely.
And please alert the staff. Just send out a general message letting them know that there's a section of the parking lot that they're going to need to avoid.
Do you How about I don't tell them what occurred?
No,
And-
just tell them that that we're going to be using a different part of the parking lot next evening.
I'm pretty sure that'll be pretty obvious, Miss Stone.
Yes. Well, you never know. You never know.
I'll take care of it.
Okay, of course.
And he hangs up.
Miss Stone, you might want to make sure Lorenzo keeps a watchful eye on whatever person the police has rooting around your surveillance system.
That's a very good point.
Eugene, do you want me to text him and tell him to keep an eye on the tech support or whoever they send over?
I think I can handle it. Thank you. I will text him and say, "Oh, if you don't mind, Lorenzo, would you be able to just make sure you get the name of the gentleman who's taking the footage and all of that?"
He texts back, okay.
Perfect.
You guys can watch on the streamed footage on the screen in Victor's office that indeed a forensic team does show up. They tape off a certain section of the back end of the parking lot. You start to see the little numbered flags go down on the ground. Apparently they don't outline bodies anymore. And they don't do that, but they do. There's pictures. You can see the flashes on the screen. Zeke, you see all of this. There's a lot of activity in a very short amount of time. You all can continue with whatever's going on back at Victor's office while this unfolds.
Are they talking about anything in particular?
There's kind of the typical banter back and forth between officers. You see a few of them standing around because really there's nothing for them to do. The one officer that was there on site first, he's talking to the detectives, giving a description of the vehicle. You can hear him telling exactly what he saw, that he came across the body after they left. He checked it and then called it in. Yada, yada, yada. Some 20 or 30 minutes after all this starts, a coroner's vehicle will show up and take the body away. About the same time, another unmarked Prince William vehicle will show up. Another detective will get out, go into the building, meet up with Lorenzo in the security room, and go about getting copies of what they need.
Any mention of what direction the vehicle took off in?
No.
I will directly speak over the comms. Do you want me to remain unseen, supervising, or head back? Of course, this is whispered to not break unseen passage.
It may be useful to have somebody listening.
Yeah, I agree. We can have him be our eyes and ears. See if he picks up anything else.
Ms. Stone, this is your property after all.
Well, if the rest of the group thinks it is a good idea, then I'm all right with that.
What's good for the goose is good for the gander.
You know, Victor, I don't think it's a coincidence that I got a message from Mr. Quince.
Did what now? Mr. Toon, you said you received a...
Yeah, I got a text message from Walter earlier this evening that I ignored. By the way, I need to give you my new number. And I'll do that when I see you again.
Don't worry. We all should have new numbers.
Yeah, we're going to need to talk about that real soon, too.
What sort of feeling do you get off of Mr. Quince? Do you trust him? Do you
What sort
like
of
him?
feeling?
Yeah.
He needs a date with a sunbeam.
Do you want to hide a body? Just saying. I mean, technically, if he's encased in concrete 20 feet below ground, technically he's not dead, so you're not breaking the masquerade. Just saying.
I'll keep my ears open, but I do agree.
So if this was somehow involved with him this evening's little fuckery, if we can also entangle him in that other issue we were discussing earlier, Victor.
Oh, you mean the unfortunate accident that we had?
Yes.
Pardon me?
A grinder.
Say no more. Oh. That.
The loose ends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
may
I
be
think-
able to throw a false lead or two in that direction.
Yes, I do think Mr. Quince dearly loves the company of children. As slime balls, that is to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is not the only crime we'll be doing this evening.
Well, he may have just committed a murder. So,
I'm pretty sure that it's your friends from a week or so ago.
Yes.
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 I don't think it's who we initially thought, which is a good thing. We just need to find where they're hiding.
Yeah.
You're saying there's a masquerade within the masquerade?
No.
For some of us.
It's more of, something else.
How long would you like me to stick here?
See if they say anything important. If not, don't worry about it. Don't risk getting extra crispy, though.
About what time is it?
Probably a good 2:33 in the morning.
I'll wait till about 3:15 to see if I hear anything, and then start heading back to the two cells.
Okay.
I'll be there in 15 or so. Maybe longer. I am walking after all.
So yeah, so you can kind of hear Zeke start to walk away. The bustle of what's going on becomes dimmer and dimmer in the audio. Although the crowd of emergency vehicles doesn't leave the Haven parking lot for some time. Within about 20 or 30 minutes, Sam, you do get another phone call.
I answer my phone. This is Sam Smith.
Hey, Mr. Smith, Lorenzo.
Oh, hey, Lorenzo. Is everything okay?
Yeah, just letting you know the detectives have finished up. They've gotten copies of what they need, and they're heading out, sir. I'm going to lock up. They said not to disturb anything in the parking lot. They've taped it off. They're apparently going to send out a cleaning crew after their forensics team is done to at least clean up the mess in the parking lot.
All right, Renzo. That sounds good. Thanks for letting me know. I will let Miss Stone know that they will send somebody to clean up, and they got copies of what they needed to look at.
Oh, Detective Smith said that if he needs to get a hold of Miss Stone, that he'll be in touch.
All right, I will let her know.
All right, sir. We'll take care of things from here.
Okay, and you have a good night, Lorenzo.
All right, Mr. Smith. Good night.
Good night. So I hang up and I say, okay, the detectives have what they need as far as videos. Mr. Detective Smith, can't believe that's my last name, not fair, said he was going to call you if he needs you, Virginia. And they're going to send a cleaning crew out to take care of everything tomorrow. But yeah, we're just going to handle everything that needs locking up for the night.
Excellent. That's good. Best to cooperate and not be suspicious.
Of course. That's the last thing we need to be right now is hiding something and being suspicious for them.
I mean, we didn't really do anything, but you never know.
Yeah, we really didn't do anything this time.
I killed a man.
Yeah, we're talking about me
you
over here.
got him killed. You didn't.
We're over here.
You're over here. He's not here yet.
Zeke, about that time, you do arrive back at the back door of the two silos. Victor, you can see him approach. Well, no, are you still unseen presence?
He would have dropped it probably about
at some point
a mile
walking
from the
towards.
club.
Okay, so yeah,
a mile from the bar.
You do see Zeke approach on the cameras. As I assume that you're still kind of keeping an eye on that.
Yes.
He'll flash his card at the door.
You hear the lock on clicks, and you open the door, and you go.
Yep. I'll join the others and sort of give each of them a glance. And as he glances at Tim, he'll just take an arm, pop his flat arm, hand on his shoulder as condolences for Soraka's disappearance. I wish I could have done more.
I know. I should have went with you, but we'll have to figure that out.
Do we have any leads, perhaps?
Well, I mean, you were the one that was there, so what else did you see?
Everything was in shambles. Her coach, everything was thrown everywhere. The garage only had Mr. Wilson. He was breathing. Oh, and they don't know it was me. I was discreet. Ish.
Excellent. Was there anything there that didn't belong to her? That
Not
might
that
be
I
a
can
clue.
tell. I don't quite know what this motor sports racing is. I didn't quite join the secular world for the last 20 or so years.
I understand. I'm just trying to think of what you might have seen that might be evidence of what happened to her.
Well, there were two vehicles, as I mentioned earlier.
Uh-huh.
Blackened windows. Familiar blackened windows. Such as the ones from, 15 minutes ago or so.
Just curious, as it is your Primogen, does he have anything anywhere nearby that he's involved with to where all this occurred?
A club, a building, an office,
bar. I mean, we're not close like that, man. For what I feel like are obvious reasons now.
You said that he had 3 people with him the last you saw him?
Yeah.
What do they look like? Generally.
I mean, other Bruja.
Anyone in particular stand out?
Player to ST, would any of them, like, do I know any of these people specifically?
The other two Bruja you've seen around, they're familiar, but you've never really palled around with them. You just know they're kind of Walter Quince's biker buddies. The older gentleman is descriptive, but you don't know him other than that one meeting.
Yeah, so that, I mean, I described that meeting to everyone. So
you did?
I don't remember that. That's why I was asking.
If you're going to describe it to him, you should do so in character.
Please.
So at our little powwow that you guys overheard on the comms was they were passing around the cup with Vitae, and it was Walter, a couple other Bruja, Soraka, myself, and an old man who looked deceptively frail. Gray, had a hat, was generally fairly gruff and measured. Hard to get a read on him.
Did he happen to have a cane?
He did.
I think I remember him from the club.
Yes. Yes, he was at the club.
Interesting. Were all of them at the club? His group, his rabble.
I only recall seeing the old man and Walter. I don't. The other two I've seen around him, but I don't. Like, I could pick them out of a lineup, but I wouldn't recognize them bumping into them.
ST to Tim, you would recall the other two Bruja were with Walter Quince at the end of the bar at the Haven Club.
Oh.
Yeah, so they were there. But nobody had any interaction with them.
Gotcha. Okay.
So they were
yes,
present.
They actually, now that I think about it, they were at the end of the bar. But they didn't really interact with anyone. Yeah, the other two, now that I'm trying to remember that night, that's... so they were there.
This reeks worse than the homeless on me.
Well,
by the way, would anybody like a smell?
No, hard
no, no. You sit up there.
He does carry the stench of last
he was
night's garbage.
Shoulder to shoulder. He will then go to the corner of the room from everybody.
Doesn't help. The office is a closed space.
Someone get up the chairs closed, please, and burn that.
Shower.
Something.
So,
please.
Tim, continue on.
Yes, please continue.
So, the other interesting thing is, after our little meeting, which I did not drink from the cup, I might add.
I remember you saying that.
Yeah, that was when Rocka was having difficulties. So I am sure that they are expecting me to meet up for another one of these fun little sessions of theirs, and I want no part of that.
Well, it'd be unfortunate if they had a little accident when they went to their next meeting.
Yes.
Well, considering that our sheriff was there, I'm not sure.
Wait. Ramona was there, wasn't she?
Yes, she was.
Curmudgeon, a sheriff, and then 2 unknowns.
3 unknowns.
Never mind the fact that Maurice is walking around.
Yes.
And we have Sasha Lycos.